What's up? This is your host, Christopher Michael Cooper on Grayling Imprint TV, certified graphic design specialist and CEO of This Life Is Not Pretend Grayling Design. Please check out thislifeisnotpretendgraylingdesign.com. Alright, so please subscribe to my channel. Any subscriptions to my channel would be awesome, man. And any likes would be wonderful. Let's dig into this video. So, this video, I'm going to cover the subject, how big is the graphic design market? A lot of you may be wondering how big the graphic design market is, especially if you're startup companies like me. So, let's dig in and let's give you some information on this. How big is the graphic design market, one may ask? The graphic design market is expected to grow in revenue by 2021. So, graphic design revenue currently is $11 billion. I'm not joking. Graphic design employment is about 169,269. There's a lot of graphic designers out there. Graphic design annual growth is 0.5% currently. So it has a little bit of growth. It has room to grow more. So graphic design business is 135,723 currently. So graphic design industry threats. Now, one may ask, what are the threats of being a graphic designer when you're in the graphic design industry? Here they are as follows. High competition will likely force many graphic designers to expand into complementary marketing and other services like social media, brand ambassador, for instance, which I have a certificate for that. Let me show you. Or social media marketing, which if you're interested, I could do professional social media brand ambassador, which is also including social media marketing, and I charge $888 a month, and that is below the average cost for that, so you are getting a huge savings. Check out thislifeisnotpretendgraylingdesign.com. But anyways, foreign graphic designers can often provide the same quality work at a fraction of the cost. No kidding. Mobile and interactive design talent is the most difficult for in-house creative terms to source. So, like I said, these are the threats for the graphic design industry, and it's important to know what threatens a small business owner, especially a small business owner of a graphic design company or anybody in that field. That these threats are posing a threat to anybody employed in that field. So, graphic design industry analysis and industry trends, according to my research, is over the past 5 years, new participants have surged into the graphic designers industry, and relatively stagnant demand for industry services. Growth in advertising expenditure and manufacturing output have helped sustain demand for design work related to product promotion and packaging. Let me tell you, being a certified graphic designer, according to my research, you're going to want to look for clients, especially in the marketing field. I mean, the marketing field has a huge, get this, a huge need for a graphic designer. Check out the marketing field. However, steady entry of freelancers into the industry is expected to have contributed to a high price competition. That must be why graphic designers have to up their prices, because, like I said, however, steady entry of freelancers into the industry is expected to have contributed to high price competition, which has eroded revenue and prevented profit growth over the next 5 years. New technology will continue to be a double-edged sword for the industry of graphic design by both opening new market opportunities and increasing competition from abroad. Graphic Design Industry Report. According to the industry SWOT analysis chapter, the graphic designers industry is in the mature phase of its life cycle, which means there's room for the graphic design industry to grow. So there's going to always be business no matter how many graphic designers are out there. So I recommend this field. It's a very good field. There's always room for it to grow. The industry's contributions to the overall economy is anticipated to rise at an annualized rate of 1.2% during the 10 years to 2021, which leaves room for more business. Comparatively, GDP is expected to increase at an annualized rate of 2.1% during the period. Although the industry is growing at a slower pace than the overall economy, which often indicates an industry in decline, it displays several other characteristics of a mature industry, which leaves room for small businesses to make their way and grow. Even though it's slow growth doesn't happen overnight. Economy, which often indicates an industry in decline. But like I said, even an industry in decline, there's a percentage, there's room for business in graphic design. It may be slow growth, but you know what? Nothing happens overnight. Several other characteristics of a mature industry. For example, while technology change has occurred over the 10-year period, the majority of these improvements stem from efficient computers and updates to existing software formats. Let me tell you, graphic designers need to be using Adobe software. That is really, really important. I really like the Adobe Creative Cloud. You may have other software you use or choose to use as a graphic designer, but I myself use Adobe and I recommend it to other graphic designers. I love Adobe, so it is wonderful, man. It is awesome what I can do with Adobe and what all of you other people could do with it. Additional insights for the graphic designer's industry. The most important key success factors for a graphic design business are: 1. Having a diverse range of clients. 2. Ability to compete on Tinder, which Tinder means showing kindness and sympathy. 3. Ability to vary services to suit different needs. You always have to design around certain people's needs. You always have to create your design according to people's needs. So it's always good to do a design brief and meet with your clients beforehand and ask and know exactly what they need when you're designing something. What you need to know about the graphic design industry. There are plenty of perceptions that people have when they hear the words graphic design or graphic designer. Most are perceptions that don't depict the professional very well. Anyone who has ever wanted to become a graphic designer knows the way you look at it on the beginning is not the same as the way you view it once you have worked within the graphic design industry for a while. It's just how it is. And it is unfortunately probably how it always will be. You're always going to deal with clients, you're always going to deal with people that are negative. You're going to deal with clients that are hard to deal with. You're going to deal with accidents that happen, mistakes that come along, or products that are really good, or your design services may be really good, but you may have a client out there just don't like your services, even though your services are up to par, you know what I mean? So many people believe that being a graphic designer is a free and quite laid-back profession, which will enable you basically an unlimited amount of spare time. And let me tell you, being a graphic designer is time-consuming. The truth is a whole different story. The stress and long hours can easily have you looking for another job in less than a year of getting started. Unless you use your true passion, you're prepared to deal with these issues. Clients are usually not very coherent, and more than often they change their minds over and over before a project is done, which makes you have to redo a project over and over. But don't fret. Don't get upset by this. Just put your work into it, make the corrections, and you always make your clients happy in the end, if you're a good businessman. And that is if you even don't get paid enough for the job you just did. So how big is the graphic design market, you may be asking by now? There are currently 2.1 million graphic designers in the United States alone. 81% of them are freelancers. 81% of them have a bachelor's degree. which of course makes finding a Porsche position a competitive endeavor, if you know what I mean. 54% of all graphic designers are women, and the average salary $50,000 a year. There are currently around 12,380 new jobs within the graphic design industry, which is something that further makes job hunting a competitive task. If you're not willing to put in the work to look for a graphic design job, then you're not going to find one. I mean, it's going to take multiple jobs and internships of applying. You're going to apply for several. Don't give up and just apply for 1 to 10 jobs. I mean, you got to consistency on a day-to-day basis be applying for 20 or more positions at least. Whether it's an internship or a career or a job position, that's what it's going to take. Hard work. %54% of all graphic designers, I said, are women. So 12,380 new jobs within the graphic design industry, which is something that further makes job hunting a competitive task. Just to review on what I just said. But graphic design can be a rewarding profession, however. Don't expect it to be the freedom most people think it is. You will be slapped with long hours and ungrateful clients more times than not. But if you are not okay with this, you may be asking yourself, or having to ask yourself, is this truly my passion? Graphic design numbers and what to expect by current statistics. Total graphic designers in the US is 2.1 million, like I stated earlier. 39% are creatives. 42% are graphic designers. 96.3% are employed. 3.7% are unemployed. 81% have a bachelor's degree. 11% have an associate's degree. 4% have some college such as a trade certificate. 45% are men. 54% are women. 86% are white. 6% are Asian. 4% are Hispanic and 2% are African American. 2% are other ethnicity. Salaries. The lowest salary for this career is $38,000 a year. The next lowest is $43,000 a year on average. The next, which is the median, which is the average, is $50,000 a year. Then you could possibly make $55,000 to $62,000 a year on the high end, depending on your education experience. And let me tell you, don't get your hopes set for high pay. If it's your true passion, I would accept anything, any pay, just to get your foot in the door. Really, that's just a tip I learned from what I researched and the education I had. Employment: 5% do printing. 15% do web design, 20% specialize in a certain area, 25% do advertising, 35% do publishing, and 48% of agencies have more than 10 employees. There are 12,380 new jobs each year in the graphic design field. The states with the biggest graphic design market are Texas, California, Illinois, Florida, and New York. And if you've seen my past video, I actually had the whole list of the top 20 states to be a graphic designer. It's in one of my videos on This Life Is Not Pretend, or Grayling Imprint TV, Grayling Imprint TV. Just Google keyword that and look for the video. I have the top 20 listed in there. And 59% of graphic designers receive health insurance. 66% of freelancers work for a staffing agency. 29% of graphic designers receive education from their employers. 57% have a full-time job and freelance on the side. 29% are only freelancers. Quick facts about graphic designers, wrapping this video up. 2016 median pay for graphic designers is $47,640 a year, and that is $22.90 per hour. Typical entry-level education is a bachelor's degree. That's the easiest way to get your foot in the door, is to have your bachelor's in graphic design. Work experience in a related occupation is none. On-the-job training is none. Number of jobs in 2014 for graphic design were 261,600. Job outlook for 2014 to 2024 for the graphic design industry is woohoo! 1%, little or no change. What a good industry to get your foot in the door, and what a good career. Employment change 2014 to 24, 3,600. And that wraps my video up. I hope this video was very educational. I hope this video helps all the graphic designers out there. I hope that this video was a big help and providing value to Michigan graphic designers. This is CEO of This Life Is Not Pretend Grayling Design. This Life Is Not Pretend GraylingDesign.com. Please check out my services and price list, and I will leave the links to my website in the description below and for my portfolio in the description below. Until next time on Grayling Imprint TV, it's your host Christopher Michael Cooper. Peace.